Hello and welcome to White Men Can't Pod. It's episode 47. It's a podcast about sports movies. I am your host, Ryan, and I'm here with two walk-ons, Mr. Wally Foley.
Hello.
And my kicker, the babe, Mr. Bill Cashin.
Kicker? I thought I was the old guy that is a stud.
Which old guy who was a stud?
Scott
Bakula?
Yeah.
You think you're Bakula?
No, not really.
You think you're Bakula right now?
No, I'm the other quarterback who this
nerd?
guy has any talent, I'll do nothing then.
The nerd quarterback?
Yeah. Which I had him confused with another player. At the end of the movie, I couldn't figure out who it was that was actually making the play.
The Jason Bateman character who was a rich guy?
Yeah, which I did not recognize Jason Bateman at all.
Yeah, he looked
didn't
look,
It took a while.
He
It took a
didn't
while
look like
for
him.
me to pull that off. It was young.
Yeah.
We're talking about necessary roughness. If you didn't catch that, necessary roughness due to NCAA sanctions. The Texas State University Fighting Armadillos, which sounds like a team you would play in college football. Bill, the Fighting Armadillos
it does.
must form a football team from actual students with no scholarships to help play their football schedule. How did you first see Necessary Roughness? Was it this viewing?
It was right now. Yep.
Okay. All right. Bill, was it right now for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd never even heard of this.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
I'm
I
sorry,
had
that was
seen
Kendall Coyne,
like
not
the
Hillary Knight.
what's it called? The picture of the front of the DVD or whatever you want.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I'd
Yeah.
seen
Great
that.
DVD
The
cover.
football
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, the horns?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked familiar, but I've definitely never
great
seen this movie.
DVD.
But I had
cover.
never seen the movie. No, not at all. But yeah, there's a lot of people in this. If
lot of
Bill
people in it.
is your kicker, are you Sinbad?
Okay. I'm Sinbad.
Okay.
Is
Actually,
Wally the
Bill is probably more like Sinbad because he knows science.
A
little.
Sinbad knows science. There's a chemistry. He talks about the galaxy, but then
Chemistry.
he says he's a chemistry
He was
teacher.
a chemistry teacher, yeah.
But he's talking about the galaxy, so I don't know what
It's
the
all
fuck's
related.
going on in
It's
there.
all related. Is Wally your ninja kicking linebacker?
The karate linebacker?
Oh,
The guy who doesn't know how to tackle but kicks faces and it's okay?
Yeah.
Does that make me Robert Loggia, who's in this movie? You need to do the thing.
No, it makes you the other coach,
Oh, come on. I hated that
no.
guy.
who is also in everything.
Yeah.
I have
What
no
is his
idea his
name?
name, but he's in everything.
Yes, he is.
He did look very familiar.
Yeah, Robert Loggia. I was really disappointed at how he was an assistant coach.
Yeah, not the main guy,
You're talking about Coach Ed Gennaro, who's actually
Yes.
the coach.
Yes.
which is
Hector Elizondo? I've never heard of this guy.
Elizondo. Oh, yeah.
He's
What
in
is it?
everything, though.
So he's an everything guy. Let's see. What's his
Pretty
big-
Woman, Runaway Bride,
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Princess Diaries 2. He's going to be in Star
Oh
Wars
my
The Bad
God, he's going to
Batch.
be in the new Monk. Monk is coming back. Are you a Monk fan?
No.
I've never
A
seen it.
monk
I
is
know
coming
of
back.
it. I've never seen it.
He was
What's-
Jim Gordon in the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, he's somebody in the Bad Batch. Oh, nice. Okay, so this guy's cool.
What do I know from though? Because the things you were saying,
Well, look it up. You tell me.
I am.
You tell me. You
Valentine's
fighting
Day.
armadillo. You fighting armadillo. So I remember the VHS cover for this movie. Because I was a
Yes.
big. I've said this before, but I was a big VHS renter. My parents lived right next to a corner store that had VHSs.
Well, yes.
I remember seeing this. I thought this was one of the ones that I had mistakenly, because they used to just not care. I would just rent whatever, and they didn't care. And I'd put it on account, and sometimes things would slip through the cracks because you could just rent whatever.
He was in
and-
How High. Is that what you're thinking, Bill?
I don't think so.
He was also in The West Wing. So
Okay,
I'll watch
that's
that.
there you go.
funny. Princess
So-
Diaries. That's what Bill got.
I don't think this is the movie that I
Then-
actually rented. I don't think this is the football movie that I actually rented that was rated R. I think it was something else. But I do remember seeing this on, I think, AMC, because I remember the end. I remember the last game. That's all I remember from this movie is the last game. So I have seen some of it before. All right, ready for,
Wait,
let me
who is
see.
he in Princess Diaries?
I think he's.
Is he like somebody's? Oh, he's like the butler or something,
yeah,
isn't he?
That seems like what he would be, or I don't know.
I was thinking Princess Bride. That's not.
All right, give me budget game.
Okay.
Budget game time.
So you had Bakula sort of. He's prime time-ish.
He had
right?
Bakula in his prime.
What was the year for
A
this?
young Kathy Ireland.
1991. We had a lot of guest stars.
Robert Luge. Yeah, you had famous athletes.
None of them really have lines though. They all just kind of growl.
Let's go with
How much did this movie cost to make?
$25 million.
Ooh, I was gonna say 22, but I'll drop it to 15 million. Oh boy.
Jeez.
You're both over.
All right. We'll go $9 million.
Okay.
I'll go $174.
What the fuck? Wally wins, of course.
Yeah.
Glad you tanked that one.
Well, it was more or less a $1 bet, is what that was.
Yeah. Okay. How much did this movie make?
Well, what was the actual budget?
Oh, sorry. 13,500,000.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it made $9 million.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think this is a flop.
I think it's a flop.
I will say
It's a decent movie, but it's a flop.
$15 million.
What did you say, Bill?
$9 million.
Wally, you win again.
All right.
26,225,000.
Well, it's
And
still
change.
okay
Double its money?
job then.
Made a little bit of money.
Yep, made
Not-
a little money.
This as soon as I started watching this, I was like, "Oh, they copied Major League." This movie is the football Major League. It's literally the football Major League. They saw Major League like we can do that for football. They even have the
Anita Jake
dean.
Taylor.
They have the dean as the evil owner.
Yep.
They have the replacement players. All
Love
that
interest. Yep.
love interest who doesn't a scholarly love interest who doesn't want anything to do with a dumb athlete.
Yep.
And then I started going down another dark path where I was like, oh, and they fucking copied Little Giants with all this stuff.
Yes.
But no.
That's what I thought. And then I realized, oh no, Little Giants copied Scott Bakula.
Little Giants copied
Hot
this movie.
Hands is a direct ripoff.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna say, Little
Sure.
Giants was probably written way before this movie, so
Just didn't get made yet.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
exactly. They were waiting for the
The
right
literal
group of
the
kids.
entire plot line, including
Hot Hands is a direct ripoff
Yes.
of this receiver.
yes, including the part where he throws the football and it gets stuck in the helmet.
Yeah.
Doesn't that happen to Little Giants too?
And the refs and the
Yeah.
coach is like, well, that's an improvement or something.
Yes, it's literally the same thing.
yeah.
And I was laughing like, okay, well that's a good plot line to steal for a movie, and it works well in Little Giants. But it's like, this is the movie we're stealing from
Yeah.
for that kid's movie. Okay. All right. So shall we begin? Shall we begin with the rundown?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We begin on the farm. Mute your shit. What are you doing? You getting emails at 9:00 at night?
It's not. That's the battery dying.
Your
Oh.
battery's dying?
That's not good. You're not plugged in.
Plug your shit in. Anyway,
Oh, you're plugged in?
are you?
Oh, I'm not. Mine's not on either.
Are you in the? The thing's not on. Hit the little button. Oh yeah, there you go. Now it works. How's that?
I blame that on the studio owner.
Yep, there it
it's
is.
just-
There it is.
Yeah, okay, so it's my fault.
Now I'm plugged in.
How dare I do that to you?
Jeez.
I agree.
How dare I do that?
What is this, Bush League hour? Or something?
Bush League. All right, we begin on the farm. Scott Bakula's an old guy.
My
Alright.
first thought was, this doesn't make sense. There's no way you can say that this dude is a college player.
Right.
He's 34.
Which
He's old. He's smoking
He's
cigarettes.
younger than me in this movie. He's
He's
supposed to be playing younger than me.
he's old and he is decrepit. Like he can barely walk at certain points in this movie.
yeah.
Think about how old you
Oh
are.
my God.
But that was my first thing, which they do fix, obviously. But my first thought was, there's no way this dude is playing a
Right.
college athlete. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He's out there throwing the football at a dummy.
Which this is Napoleon Dynamite ripped Uncle Rico off from him out in the farm
Oh
throwing
my
footballs.
God! How many references came from this movie? It's more important than we thought. Anyways, on the farm, he's hitting this dummy. It looks like he's playing from sun up to sun down.
It's like,
Like-
when he's done plowing a field. he
No,
throws some balls.
he's plowing the field in the early morning, throws a couple balls, and then he just continues to throw until it's dark.
And the plow, and then it shows the long grass around.
Yeah,
it. Clearly
he
it's
hasn't
not
done
been
any
plowed.
work. He's just out there chucking it.
He got in the zone, man. What are you gonna do?
We see credits during all this, and I'm like, oh, I like this music. What's up with this music? This is some fun early 90s, 80s music. You know who did the music? Bill Conti. You know who he did the music for as well?
No.
Rocky, baby.
Okay,
Same guy.
that makes sense.
He did the Rocky music, and it has a
Okay.
little bit of Rocky in it. This scene cracked me up so much. It's Sports Center,
Yeah.
which seems early for Sports Center. Like 91 is not when it was most famous, but we're at Sports Center.
Yep.
Chris Berman is there,
Early
Yeah.
on.
telling us the story about this Texas State and what happened. And this entire scene made me laugh. So he's talking about all of the infractions. So basically, this team is like the SMU Mustangs of like the early
Yeah.
90s, 80s. Like they just played themselves out, and the program got the death penalty because they had so many violations. And that's kind of what's going on here. And then they have, which is hilarious, video footage of every kind of incident that's happened. They
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
video footage of dudes taking
Yeah,
steroids,
direct shots
taking
in arms
money,
and butts.
stealing, beating people up at the strip club, anything you could think of. They got a shot of it.
Yep.
Who's following this team around as this covert reporter?
It's a 30 for 30 waiting to happen.
Oh my God. I just wrote, they got all this stuff on tape. All the players and all the coaches have now been expelled from the university, and there's no
Except
more.
for one.
Except for who?
There's one of the.
Oh, he refused to. That
He was
guy's.
he was a walk-on.
That was so stupid.
Yeah.
Some of this movie.
Did he even do anything in the
he
rest of the movie?
he juggles the one part where he's like, the football is your friend, and he juggles. He gets hit at one point. He doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
That was the walk on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had him and the backup quarterback confused the entire movie.
I
That
had
makes sense.
I had him and the rich kid confused
Jason
the
Bateman
entire time.
was
yeah.
the rich kid.
Yeah. I thought they were the same person, but they were not.
Well, there's no more monkey business at Texas State.
No, can't be.
Let's turn to Ed Gennaro here with me as my analyst.
Straight as an arrow, Ed Gennaro.
Straight as an arrow, Ed Gennaro.
Straight arrow, Gennaro.
If
Is
he's
that
a
what-
Yeah.
college football head
Ed's
coach,
straight
there's
arrow
no way he is straight as an arrow. They're the most corrupt group of individuals. College coaches are not
Well,
squeaky clean.
Nowadays.
Are they?
Nowadays they're not, but maybe back in the day they.
Look at all of the bullshit that happened in college this year with all of these coaches.
Oh no, not this year. This year, yes, we are fully into the corruption league, but like maybe back in like
Oh,
the
like
early
they're just
90s.
really good at covering it up.
Yeah.
Well, it just so happens that the president of Texas State is in Connecticut at the ESPN studios.
Yeah.
Where he can then
Make a big announcement.
get into the building to confront Ed Gennaro.
Yeah.
And ask him if he wants to coach the team. So he flew to Connecticut, snuck into the ESPN studios. You can't just go on to the set.
You can when you're a national champion
guess
college football
so.
president.
He goes in there and he offers Ed Gennaro the job, and he says you can have carte blanche to do whatever you want, but you have to play with student athletes. Not student athletes, actual students.
Yeah, you can't recruit.
You
just
can't
have to
recruit anybody.
Open tryouts and that's it.
Good luck to you. And then we
Even though
meet,
he does also actively recruit, but
on
not for
on
scholarships?
campus.
I guess
Yeah, not for scholarships. Robert Loja enters the building.
that's his first recruit is the other coach.
Yeah, but Ed Gennaro doesn't recruit him.
Robert Loja does.
Robert Loja
This is
does.
exactly what college football coaches do.
Yeah.
You pass the buck down until somebody's filming the Western Kentucky, Michigan sideline for signals. Harbaugh, free Harbaugh. I didn't do anything.
He didn't do nothing. He didn't even know nothing.
Robert Loja, who I adore. And if you don't know, he's in Independence Day. He's the general in Independence Day.
He sure is. He's in. other
He's
things as well.
also the bad grandpa in Over the Top, which is a movie that we probably have to watch again for this show.
Is that
Is that
the
arm
Arm wrestling movie.
Oh, he's the very responsible. He's
Yes.
the grandfather who's a bad guy because he said, my grandson needs to be in school
Yeah.
and not driving around in the cab of your truck arm wrestling people."
Yes, the villain of
Yes.
Over the Top, Robert Loja, which I would love to do a double dip on that one.
Oh yeah, he's in Big, of course.
He's in a ton of stuff.
Scarface. I've still never seen the whole thing.
Robert Loggia doesn't want to be the assistant
You've
coach.
never seen the whole thing of Scarface?
I've seen the first half of Scarface like 3 times, but I've never been able to get through the full 8 hours of the movie.
Are you shocked by the fact that he hasn't seen that movie?
I'm just, I shouldn't be, but
Okay. He doesn't want to be. He's already here at Texas State. What the fuck? Isn't it a little too late to be like, I don't want to be the assistant coach? But that's what he says here.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to have to answer to you.
I don't want to answer to you. And he says, Gennaro says, we're equal partners. Don't worry about it. So they hold these open football trials in Texas.
He also, though, at the end is real weird about, like, I don't want to do it. Like, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, there's a weird thing that they're not getting into.
They have a weird dynamic, these two coaches,
Yes,
where it's
they
just like, do they like each other? I don't think that Ed Gennaro likes Robert Loggia that much.
yeah.
Robert Loggia was in
Right.
Tim and Eric. Gross.
Gross for who?
For him.
Tim and
Lowering
Eric.
himself to Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Tim and Eric. You never heard of them?
They're a not very funny comedy duo.
They're funnier than you will admit.
Except that the big guy, is very funny in Master of None.
Wait, is Eric like Eric Andre? Is that
No,
his
they're
name? No.
two like really weird. You know, what was the show with where it was like the teacher or whatever who had the crazy hair?
The teacher with
The guy from Step Brothers.
Oh, John C. Reilly.
John C. Riley.
Yeah.
What is he in that? Where he's
Yeah,
got
I
the
know what
crazy
you're talking
hair. That's Tim and Eric. That's from
the glasses.
yeah. That
he
I
looks
think was like a
ridiculous.
spin-off
Dan
out
Cashin loved Tim and Eric.
of Tim and
But
Eric.
so did Mike DeFazio. So
the
And
ghost
we all know
loves
that Mike's opinions on movies is just god awful.
Mike's movie game.
Oh, he was in that TV show with the other guy.
You lose. You automatically lose.
he could do the Kevin Bacon game for anyone.
Yeah.
Let's try it, Mike.
Connect any two actors via movies. All right. Well, he was on The West Wing, that TV show. That doesn't count. That's a TV show, Mike.
Well, why not? Why it should count?
Oh my God. My favorite is when he would say, like, "Oh my God, I can connect any two people," and then you give him 2 people, and you'd be like, "Humana."
All right, come back to me in like
Step
15
one.
minutes. Come back to me in 15 minutes. I got it.
The first step, he couldn't do it. All right, open football tryouts.
Also, fuck you, Mike. You're gonna lose.
There you go. Charlie's the walk-on who wouldn't
ghost.
quit. He's got heart, but then we never see him again, like
Yeah.
you said.
I think that I don't think I connected back that he was that guy, and I just thought, like, who is this random person that has a line every half hour?
I don't know. Also, we're in Texas, right? It's pretty warm there.
You would think.
Why the fuck are they not practicing on football fields? They're in the fucking basketball gym the whole time.
Well, they're just.
What is this?
I don't know.
It's
Tryouts. It's just tryouts.
football tryouts
Yeah,
in
but
the
it's-
gym.
It's not like they're gonna be doing it. They just want to see if anyone's in shape. I get it.
Well,
Robert Loggia has been in every single thing.
Loggia gives some plays. It's like, I got a play for you.
Like in every football movie, though, when the defensive coach has a play, the offensive coach wants nothing to do with it.
I got a play for you, Ed. And it's like, shut the fuck up. We're in tryouts. I don't need to play right now. He says, but on my offense, Wally. That's right. Is this your
Yep.
favorite Wally character in a movie?
Maybe.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It's better than the robot.
Yes.
Better than that
I
robot.
never watched that robot either.
Robert Loggia drives in his cool car through the woods of Texas or whatever. Bumps into this farm, and we're like, "What the fuck is Robert? Why is Robert Loggia the one recruiting the quarterback for this team? He's not the head coach." He bumps into our guy Scott Bakula,
Mm-hmm.
and he's visiting the 34-year-old. We're not even talking about a couple years out. 34.
Yeah, 16 years later. Basically.
16 years later, you're coming for me?
You were the best in high school.
He says some weird stuff. He says, come out for TSU. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm a responsible farm owner. What are you even saying? Are you telling me to go into thousands and thousands of dollars of debt just to play quarterback for you for one season?
It's your chance.
There's your chance. And he's like, no, I'm not. I have a life. Like, I gave up on that dream. I'm 34 years old.
Yeah,
I'm not going back to
seriously.
college. And then Robert Loggia says,
I definitely don't spend 8 hours a day throwing a ball.
I definitely
in the
don't
field.
waste a time doing that. And then Robert Loggia goes, all right, fine. Just stay here with your high school trophies. And that's
That
just
gets
enough.
to him.
That
gets
lights
to
a
him.
You're-
fire.
Robert Loggia's turning into Mick here.
It's a little Mickish. You want to do it? You want to take a stab at Loggia?
I'll have to try.
not
You're
as-
the old man.
It's not
there.
as growly as you're giving it. Like
Mick is way growlier.
Mick is just growl.
He sounds like Mick. The key to the Mick impression in Rocky is you sound like you have to sound like you're about to die every sentence you say.
Yeah.
All right, Rock. Anyway, Loggia drops that bomb. Then we find out the dean is the reason for all this trouble. He's the asshole who's the asshole in all those movies and shows.
He wants his
He's,
college
he's the
to
guy from
just be academics.
Is the guy from Seinfeld.
He's
and
the dad from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, he's the dad from 10 Things, which is his only like babyface role. Like, he turns babyface at the end.
Is that Freddie
Yeah.
Prinze Jr.? Did we
He's
watch
playing
that?
No, that's not Freddie.
Similar character.
That's Joker. What's his face?
Jared Leto?
No, the other Joker.
Jack
Heath
Nicholson?
Ledger?
No, the other Joker.
Keith Ledger.
Yeah, him.
What about him?
He's in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah,
Frankie is in
Frankie.
the other guy. Who did you just say?
Oh, are you talking about Brokeback Mountain?
No,
What are you talking about then?
the other teen movie that we watched
Not,
about soccer.
With Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze.
Oh,
What was the soccer
Hardly
movie?
Wait.
No,
No.
that's not it either.
That's Seth Green, right?
that's
Yeah.
Seth Green. It's
I think I've seen that one.
We literally
my
watched his
God.
movie where he plays soccer.
it's
Didn't-
the man.
for this show, didn't we?
No, fucking.
She's the
Christ.
man.
That's the soccer movie.
Uh,
Oh yeah, do we have to watch Freddie Prinze Jr. on this show? then?
Yes, we do. He has a
There's not
baseball.
lot.
He has
She's
a
all
baseball
that.
movie.
she's all that.
She's all that.
She's all that.
She's all that. Anyway, the
I should
dean,
have gotten that way quicker.
the guy who's the dean in this movie, is also hilarious. In I think is it A Mighty Wind? I forget. He's in one of those movies
Oh.
as a secret ex-lover of one of the girls in the movie. But his job is he is a suicide prevention police officer. So there's a part where a guy gets up on the roof and he's just like, just fucking jump already. Just it's not worth it. Just jump.
Oh,
and then he
shit.
turns and
Oh,
he
is
goes,
that where he's trying to do reverse psychology?
Yes, yes.
I've seen this.
and then he turns to the rest of the people in the movie and he goes like, that's a secret to my job. They always jump.
So, what's his name? Robert Loggia's name in this movie is Wally.
Yeah.
The dean's name in 10 Things I Hate About You, and his name is Walter
Oh.
Stratford in that movie.
Okay.
Okay.
And then in A Mighty Wind, his name is Wally Fenton.
Okay.
So a lot of Wally Walters coming on tonight.
I love it.
so, yeah.
Well, this dean is an asshole who hates football, and he's gonna stop at nothing, just like a certain Cleveland Indians owner that we know,
Yes.
Yeah.
to make sure that this team doesn't exist anymore. And then we see the next. He talks about how much he hates football to the two new coaches, and then the next scene
Robert
is him
Loggia. You don't say
watching.
anything.
He's watching practice, and Ed Gennaro's like, for somebody who hates football, what are you doing here? He's like, just waiting for an accident, just waiting for a reason.
Waiting for you guys to mess up.
Yep. A fucking pickup truck pulls up, and out walks Cowboy Scott Bakula with denim on denim
He's
on denim. A
He's a farmer.
triple denim,
he is
triple
farmer.
denim outfit.
I
Cowboy
feel like
hat.
you're saying that that's too much denim.
I think no. If you go triple, if you're not just a denim Dan, if you're not going 2, if you're going 3, you're cool.
You're committing.
Okay.
You're going
So,
over.
So one's okay.
2's weird.
then
3
3
is
you come
cool
back
again.
around.
You're coming back around.
Okay. All right.
That's where he's at. He's smoking, which I think
Yep.
is funny.
Yep.
He's just a cigarette smoking old man. 34
That's one
year
thing
old.
they didn't, unfortunately, copy into Little Giants. Is have the one
Smoking?
kid just chain smoking.
They did have it in
Got
the.
a hard life already.
There's a little bit of replacement stuff in here too. Like they
Yeah.
did have
The
that in
kicker,
replacements.
the kicker.
He
I feel like
smoked.
there's a smoker in
Definitely
Major League.
There
right?
definitely is. Shoop, I think,
Yeah.
smokes, doesn't he?
And then that's a
Shoop,
smoking is a big part.
punch
He
and
goes in the
Judy
outfield.
hitter.
Punch and Judy hitter. Can't believe I can get out there. Punch and Judy hitter.
He puts his cigarette out in the the dean's coffee cup.
He
Yep.
does ask first, "Are you done with this?"
Shout out to those old coffee cups. My God.
Yeah.
They were in this movie a lot. Great. Maybe a quote mountain. Loja gets a ball and whips it to Blake, who Ed Gennaro's mad that he recruited this guy in the first place. That's my offense. He's a great player. God damn it.
He can play.
He throws the ball to Blake and goes, tattoo somebody.
Tattoo.
So this is where we get the walk on.
Yep.
He catches this pass that knocks this guy over, and they're like, okay, well, this boy can throw. He's got an arm. Then the dean drinks the cigarette. He forgets the coffee cup, has the cigarette in it, and drinks the cig, and pulls it out of his mouth, which is fucking disgusting.
Having done things like that before, it makes you want to throw up thinking about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blake is going to college. He's not that far from college. We've seen him drive home at one point.
Yeah.
Yet he's going to move in on campus.
Well, it seemed like it was like a kind of 2-hour thing, like how we.
I guess he's
Had to
going to
drive
live
to
on
the game.
campus as a 34-year-old man. Can you imagine
With
that?
the roommate.
Can you imagine?
No.
He rooms with the center,
Manu Mana.
Manu, who is like, come on in. And he's like, can I get you something? What can I help you with? And he's like, what, why are you doing that? It's like, well, where I come from, we treat our
Small.
elders with kindness.
Fucking
And he also says he's the smallest of his family.
Yep.
Even though he's fucking huge.
His name is Runt of the Litter.
My family is very large.
We meet Featherstone, who is the receiver who can't catch, but he's super
though.
fast.
Hot hands.
This is where we get one.
Stone Hands, you mean?
He drops a bunch, and
He's
then
stone hands and turns into hot hands.
Bacula sticks a ball right into his face mask, as we
Yep.
talked about.
Yep.
Then we get the karate guy who are confused with the military guy, but I think they're roommates.
Different. Yeah.
They
are
look
different
pretty similar. Karate guy wants to. He only plays one way. He only plays defense. He can't play offense
people. Right.
later. And his the way he gets people down is he judo chops people and roundhouse kicks people in the face.
Yeah, and
Robert Loggia
goes,
whatever works for you. He doesn't care at all.
It's like,
Okay.
he doesn't say, yeah, you can't do that. No, he's like, yeah, okay, that works.
Then we get Robert Loggia's like 40-second explanation as to why he brought this quarterback here, why Scott Bakula's here. He's like, his dad died, so I told him to go to Penn State, but he didn't, so he took over a farm. Oh, sure. Okay, thanks, Robert.
Best quarterback I ever saw in high school. He didn't play college, so he's here. He's eligible.
He also says he threw 5 touchdowns in a game once. And it's like, I'm sure any good quarterback has probably done that in high school. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe back then it was a big
maybe
deal.
it was. We see Bakula walking through the student union. He gets hit in the head with a racquetball from a babe.
Total babe.
Total babe.
Harley Jane Kozak.
This reminded me of how much we played a lot of fucking racquetball in college. I loved
I didn't
racquetball.
play enough racquetball.
I didn't play enough either, but I played a lot, but I didn't play enough.
Bob laughed at me because he thought it was funny how I.
Yeah, we were bad at it, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to play. We get hit in the head by this racquetball, and then we find out that this lady is a teacher at the college. She has no idea he's a student. She's like, oh, well, I'll see you at faculty functions.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, haha, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll see you there.
I do like that she asked him what department he's in. He's like, athletics?
Yeah. Which later she's like, you lied to me. And he's like, I didn't lie. I said athletics. I didn't say I taught it.
I never said the word teach.
I never said the word teach. We get the coaches arguing, which I think they thought this was going to work better, and it just didn't. Robert Loggia and Ed Gennaro arguing over who plays what side.
Yeah.
And then the dean comes in and he's like, everyone is cut because they all violated the rules, and like 7
Their
guys are cut.
GPA isn't high enough.
7 different people are cut from the team instantly.
From your team of like 20 people.
Yeah.
I think they're down to like 17 at the end.
Yeah. So Dean goes, all right, Wally. And then Wally, Robert Loggia says, the name's Walter. Which I enjoyed. I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
As of this morning, several kids are out for low GPA. We don't have enough guys. They got to play both ways. Iron Man football.
As soon as they said that, I was like, all right, so Bakula's got to make some big play at safety or something.
Nope.
I'm waiting for Scott Bakula to have his
Nope.
one moment on defense.
Nope.
Not ever.
Another guy who I thought was several other people, but he's not, is the Aussie Rules football player who shows up and won't wear pads.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, all right, give it a go. And then he gets absolutely smashed. And then they were like, oh, he held on to the ball. Let him play. Tell him to put pads on next time.
Yep.
Blake shows up to class late, but everyone thinks he's the teacher. And then he sits down, and Hottie McHottie teacher comes in. She's the teacher of Journalism 101, which is supposed to be an easy class.
Yep.
Which insulted me because I took a lot of journalism classes in college.
Easy class.
She keeps calling him Mr. Blake, and he's like, no, don't call me that. Like, we should go on a date. And she's like, all right, Mr. Blake, enough. You're a student. I'm a teacher. We can't do that. Then the dean wants to see this Hottie McHottie teacher.
Wait. So later on, she admits that she knew him in high school.
Yes.
So
Later,
she
she
must
does.
know that he's not a teacher right
She
now.
doesn't know if he's a teacher
Well, he could
or
be
not.
showing up as a new teacher, I suppose.
She doesn't know for sure if he's...
Okay.
There's no way he should be a student.
That's true.
There's no way in reality he should be a student. I know we've had this story before in college football where like a 35-year-old dude kicks or whatever.
Yes.
That's happened before.
Or there'll be someone who gets out of the military and is a freshman.
Yeah.
Like
We've seen it.
26 or
We've seen
something.
it happen.
Yeah.
The dean wants to see the teacher, and he creeps on Suzanne. Well, Suzanne, if you just want to Suzanne, she's like, nope, I'm out of here. I see exactly where this is going. I'm out. Sinbad. We see Sinbad teaching chemistry, astrology, what else? Several other things.
In fairness, that's science teachers in high school.
And then he says, but this is in high school, Bill.
I know.
And then he says, like, the class is over, and, like, they're clearly hiding him at first. Like, you're not really noticing it's Sinbad. And then they kind of reveal it's Sinbad. And then he goes, tomorrow we're going to talk about gravitation. Okay. Gravitation.
That's what he said?
Gravitation is what he says.
Okay.
Gravity. It's
Is that a word? Is gravitation a word?
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Sinbad knows what he's talking about. Is that what
She
he said?
does.
Trust in Sinbad. Gravitation. Well, it turns out he played left tackle in high school, and Blake knows him and says, what the hell are you doing here? And he's like, well, when I got here, the coach benched me and didn't make the team or whatever, so I just took up chemistry, which is not what I thought he was teaching. And I've just been doing chemistry ever since. And he's like, well, you have a year. How the fuck does Blake know this? You have a year of eligibility left.
Yeah. how
Come
does
out
he
and
know
play
this?
for us. And he's like, I don't want to play. I'm a teacher. And he's like, you got the bug still. You got the bug. So he's like, you're right. I got the bug. I'll play.
All right, I'm in.
I'm in for this very crap ass football team. I'll play. We see Banks cannot move the sled at all when Robert Loja's on it. He's like, yeah, put your back into it. He's like, can't move it at all.
Which one is Banks?
He's the walk-on.
Yeah.
He sucks the whole
Again,
movie,
I
but he's
couldn't
got heart.
figure out who he was the whole movie.
And Sinbad comes over and knocks the sled over in one foul swoop, and Robert Loja's like, all right, a real man.
Which Sinbad's a big dude. I forget.
He is big in
sometimes.
this movie. Or at least they frame him like
That's
he is.
true. But I feel like he's a pretty big guy.
Andre says, well, Loja says something like, you need to eat this stuff for lunch. Like, it's like raw meat. And then after he knocks it over, Sinbad goes, I'm a vegetarian. And Loja's on the ground and goes, all right, I'll eat whatever the hell you want then. Then we see Rob Schneider, or Rib Schindler, as I wrote in this. Rib Schindler. Rob Schneider is the announcer.
Rob Schneider.
Rob
Rob
Schneider is a
Schneider.
hamster.
Rob Schneider is a stapler. That one always makes me laugh so hard.
Stapler. Rob Schneider is the radio broadcaster, and he has some okay lines in here. The one that I remember is the fumbling line, where it's like he just says several fumblerooski, fumblelia. He's not bad in this. He's not bad. he announces the Bobcats are coming out. They're a real team with 119 players,
Yeah.
14,000 fans. And here comes our team, 17 players. That's all we got.
Yep.
They play against a guy who is an actual dog. He literally acts like a rabid dog. And apparently was treated for rabies several times. So when you get rabies, you turn into a real dog.
I think that's how.
Actual real dog. Ed Gennaro's a bad coach. He's not a good coach. He asks
He's not
them to
very-
run the same exact running play 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And by the 4th time, our guy, Scott Bakula's like, this is bullshit. Like, let's just fucking throw it. Why am I here?
Right.
I'm handing off to a guy from Australia or the walk-on or Jason Bateman. What are we doing here? So he tries to throw it deep. He changes the play. Throws it to Featherstone. Great pass, but Featherstone, of course, drops it.
Yeah, true.
And Blake gets benched for changing the play for the
Yeah, so
rest
they
of the
put in
game.
The bad quarterback to run the same running play.
And he's the nerd who's like the nerd who knows plays, which is also a Little Giants thing.
Yes, it certainly is. And so is getting a bunch of pros to come off a bus later in the
Yes. At one point, we see the defense, and a guy goes in motion, and everyone just follows the guy in motion. Like the whole team just follows the guy in motion, and then there's somebody wide open for a touchdown. The backup's getting killed by the rabid dog, so at one point he gets fast enough backwards to get behind a ref, and then they tackle the ref and him. Babe teacher's grading papers and typing on her little typewriter and her computer. But she's listening to the game. What's going on here? I thought she hated athletes in football. What's going on?
Something's going on.
Something's up. Blake talks to coach, and it seems like they have an understanding, but then they don't. Blake does journalism 101, and he can actually write, but he writes a fake story about the game. Or it's like the coach really knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he wrote about how it's a win for the coach.
What
or
the
something
fuck
stupid.
is this shit?
It did make sense, but
It
she
was-
loved
Did not make sense based on his behavior the rest of the movie. It makes no sense.
Yeah. It was a very well written.
Oh, he's a great writer. He's not a dummy.
Yeah.
He's also wasting like $40,000 to do this.
That's true.
Does this farm make that much money? Who's running the farm now? Bakula. All right, they play against Texas State Penitentiary, and this is where we see all of the cameos, which is basically they line up to play and then they just beat the fuck out of them.
for like a play.
It's not. They're getting a fight the whole time.
Yeah,
There's no play.
They do like one thing and then they get back on the bus.
All right, let's see who we got here. We had let's see. We had
'Cause
Dick.
this-
We had Dick Butkus, who has some lines, and he was an actor. Butkus was an actor. We'll probably see him again at some point, I think.
Probably.
He's acted in several things. He's a pretty good actor. We had Earl Campbell, the great Earl Campbell, running back for the Oilers. We had Roger Craig.
Who did he quarterback for?
Craig was a running back for the 49ers. We had
Oh, right.
Tony Dorsett.
Mm-hmm.
We had boxer Evander Holyfield in this.
Why not?
We had Ed Too Tall Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We had Jim Kelly, quarterback of the Bills.
He has a line, I think.
He has some lines. Jerry Rice, Herschel Walker, Randy White,
Politician Herschel Walker.
failed politician Herschel Walker, and a guy named Ben Davidson, who I don't know who that is, if he was a player or not. But basically all these famous players. None of them really have lines except for Jim Kelly, who basically says, like, let's get him, or something like that. That's all he says.
Ben Davidson was an older football player.
Okay.
He was, so maybe he was a coach or something.
He has a good line, though.
He was born in 1940, so.
Okay. He's got a great line when he sacks Bakula before the fight. He
Mhm.
gets on top of Bakula, and Bakula's like, all right, what are you in for? And he goes, computer fraud,
Mhm.
which I thought was good. The dean is the one who set all this up to ruin his team, but really it's probably going to be a galvanizing force.
Sure. Bring them together.
We have another game where it's going real bad, and Robert Loggia is on the sideline. He goes, if this was an AstroTurf, I'd bury myself 6 feet under.
He's got the best one-liners.
They're now 0-6 So they got to pull out all the stops now. So they have them work out with the cheerleaders. There's more cheerleaders than there are players. They work out with the cheerleaders. There's a game where they lose, and Rob Schneider goes, "Ah, shit!" right into the mic. They fight a lot about the losses, but then Sinbad's like, all right, what we need is a night out in the town. Let's go to Billy Bob's. So this movie obviously inspired Varsity Blues. Obviously.
Billy Bob cried because Billy Bob cries.
Someday we'll get to that.
So
Scott
We're definitely
Bakula.
getting that before too long.
this movie for sure, like, is to credit this. What do I want to say? This movie is like, without this movie, none of all these other movies would have come to.
It's
pass.
like it's like a branch
Yes.
timeline.
Yes, it is. It is the roots.
Yeah.
I feel
and
like
everything.
it took from the original
Yes.
Longest Yard
Yes.
and then pooped out a lot of stuff that the newer Longest Yard then absorbed back.
Yeah,
up.
right. Yeah, it's like a human centipede, if you will, of sports movies. It's the human centipede of sports movies. That can't be good for its rating. Well, they go to this bar, and it's a bull riding bar, and Scott Bakula doesn't want to hang out with anybody. When the fuck did he become a dick? Like, he started out like,
all of a sudden he was.
all of a sudden he's a dick, like a moody dick. He doesn't want to hang out with anybody. This guy named Flat Top comes in from the
Although I
Texas
can
Colts.
understand being a 34-year-old who doesn't want to go to the bar with.
It
a
makes
bunch
a lot of
18-year-olds.
sense, but still. He does show up, though, in the end and stops the fight from happening by saying, I'll buy you a beer to Flat Top. And he's like, great, buy me one. And he pours it down his shirt. And he's like, oh, I guess you wanted a different kind. I guess you wanted light beer. And he's like, I wanted a whole keg, motherfucker. And then a full bar fight goes out.
Yeah, Bakula punches.
Bakula punches him with his weak hand.
Gets one
Nothing.
twos.
We get
one
nothing.
twos him, and the guy's like, yeah, nothing.
Yep. So Billy Bob calls the sheriff, and when he calls him, he goes like, yep, they're doing it again. So there's just fights all the time there. Cops show up. Dean shows up being like, finally.
Yep.
But somehow the coaches are there, and they're all playing pool together, even though they have blood, busted eyes, and the sheriff's like, nothing happened. Nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the brawl? There's no brawl. They're just pretending so they don't kicked off their football teams.
I do like when he straight up says to the president, like, if we get in trouble, they get in trouble, and they won't allow that.
Yeah.
Like,
There-
what do you
there's
think
no
you're doing
way.
here?
Dean clears out, and Coach Gennaro's like, all right, who threw the first punch? But he doesn't get his answer. He really doesn't like Scott Bakula.
He is not.
Nope.
He's not happy that he's there, even though what else does he have? Scott Bakula leaves the fight and goes to hang out with Babe Teacher. And then that's when she reveals she was at, quote, the game, where he threw 5 touchdown passes. She used to drive in her car with her friends past his house.
Yeah.
Just to see if
Little
they'd
creep.
see him out front. She was a cheerleader on the other, who had the hots for him. Her boyfriend was on the other team, and they broke up basically because of him. Oh my God! Then we get the scene where this probably should have happened a lot earlier, where they couldn't find a kicker, so they got to find one. So where did they go?
They didn't have a kicker all this time.
They didn't have a kicker this whole time.
They had somebody try one at one point. It was
bad.
very bad.
So they find a kicker. They go to the ladies' soccer team, women's soccer team.
As you do.
And there's a lot of girls there, and this made me sad because wasn't Carly Lloyd like gonna be a kicker? Wasn't that a thing? She was. The Texans needed a kicker, and
He
she was
gonna be
Jeez.
a kicker.
She wanted to kick.
Ugh.
You don't like Carly
I
Lloyd?
don't like Carly
No,
Lloyd.
American heroes are not what
Yeah,
Wally
he
prefers.
hates American heroes. You hate George Washington
To be
too,
fair,
right?
Yeah, I've never
Um,
understood how you
yeah.
could hate George Washington.
Why do you
to-
Abraham Lincoln?
Shut
he
up.
hates him
To
too.
be fair,
sure
many
hates him.
people,
For sure, he hates him.
many people in the women's soccer world do not like Carly Lloyd. So, to be fair,
Currently, but at the time she was kicking, and you hated her, and she was an American hero.
Oh my God.
You still
Scored
hated
a
her.
million goals in the Olympics, but that
Yeah.
doesn't count for anything.
In the
In the
World
Olympics,
Cup,
you're right.
World
In the
Cup,
Olympics, yeah.
No, in the World Cup, she had the hat trick,
She
right?
had the hat trick, yes.
Yeah.
what
Oh,
a
she.
terrible.
Oh my
terrible
God, she had the
person.
hat trick and they won in the World Cup. Oh my God. Anyway, we meet the kicker. It's a lady kicker. Man who can't figure out how to snap because she's a lady. She kicks a 30-yarder. She kicks a 40-yarder.
She barely kicks a 30-yarder.
She's better on the 40-yarder.
Yep.
Jason Bateman creeps on her as well. It's like, you got a fine figure or something like that.
Yep.
You got a fine form and a fine form. And then this person is Kathy Ireland, which brings us to an eBay war.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Switch to the...
Switch over
Kathy
to
Ireland
an eBay war real quick.
Did you put it in?
It should be in
Oh,
there.
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
Kathy Ireland.
Woohoo.
Necessary roughness. Autograph. Hand sign. 8x10. Photo. COA. Sold by Hollywood, Australia.
Oh, Australia.
All right.
So that's going to crank up the shipping.
Ready for this description?
Yep.
Genuine. Kathy Ireland. Necessary roughness. Autograph. Hand sign. 8x10.
Autograph
Photo.
and signed?
COA. Sent with express delivery. Genuine. Kathy Ireland. Necessary roughness. Autograph. Hand sign. 8x10. Photo. COA. Certificate of authenticity from Famous Galaxy, California. See photo. Photo is a photo of her that's not from this movie wearing a number 91 jersey running. So that how does that prove that this is
Okay.
COA? I'm not sure. But Hollywood, Australia is prolific on eBay. 4.8 thousand items sold, 100,000 or 100% positive feedback. What do you think a Kathy Ireland 8x10 from this movie is worth?
Bill,
Who has to go first?
Bill, you gotta go first. You're up 11-7.
All right. I imagine Kathy Ireland has signed a bunch of things in her time.
Sure, she's the model. Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition,
Yeah.
VHS, I think. She was definitely on that VHS.
Okay.
All right. What do you think this is worth?
I've never been as good with the autographs. I'm going to say $35.
35. Kathy Ireland.
I don't usually like to go even numbers.
8x10.
35.
Okay. Wally? Do you take the lead or do you tie?
I'll go $50.
35?
That's what I
50.
said.
Yep.
You take the lead if you win?
No.
You
No.
tie?
No,
No.
I'm killing him.
He's up 11-7
Ooh.
because he apparently got it right on the head last time that
That's
we
right.
went.
I
at
did.
it.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
right, I
Do
did.
we get an extra point for that anymore?
Yeah, because it was 9-7 and then it jumped to 11-7.
All right. Well, you're going to close the gap here, Wally. This is $89.
Wow.
Wait, what did you say again?
50. You said 35.
$89 Australian.
Oh, then I was right.
Oh.
Conversion, I win.
$59.
Oh.
$59. Wait, didn't you say 50?
Yeah, that's not right on though.
No, but you win.
Yeah,
$59 US.
I was hoping for the right on though.
You still win, Wally. Calm down.
I need to
Yeah, I
gain some
struggle
ground,
with
man. I need
autographs.
to
I don't know
gain
why.
some ground.
Autographs are never my deal.
What did you say it was for in Australian money?
89.
Oh yeah, 59 for US.
You don't trust eBay?
No.
All right. So now that she's the kicker, everything's going to be good because they can just kick field goals all the time.
That's all you need. Ask the
He's got a-
Panthers.
Exactly. He's got a good feeling about the game tonight, says Gennaro, but thunder and lightning break out. They don't usually play games in lightning,
Nope.
but
no, it's
they
the
d-
one weather that you can't
for
play.
whatever reason they do here, which just so happens to be their own homecoming,
Yep.
it's pouring. Rob Schneider details earlier during halftime, lightning struck someone on
Yep.
the sideline. Then his equipment sparks, flames shoot out of his microphone and all of his stuff, and he's like, "Oh baby!"
We're still gonna do this game though.
Yep. Nope.
Yep.
We're not stopping. Blake runs for a touchdown, but fumbles at the last second. But they do recover it. What an anticlimactic thing.
Yep.
And then Lucy, who's Kathy Ireland, comes out to make a game-tying kick with seconds left. So they have now not lost. They've tied.
Yep. Now they're
They're tied.
8-1, I think.
Yes,
It's a
they've
moral
tied.
victory, though.
And they celebrate the tie as if they've won the Super Bowl, the actual Super Bowl.
That's from a movie too. We didn't lose. I don't
Yep.
remember what movie that is.
I'm
but
not
that's a
sure.
movie.
After she makes the kick, a guy on the other team pushes her over and says, like, you're a lady. And everyone gets mad, and she gets up and just straight kicks him right in the dick.
Yep.
And he goes down and just makes some funny noises, like, ooh, for a while. And they celebrate. And Rob Schneider goes, one incredible upset. Just that they tied, not that they didn't win. After the game, in the back, in the locker room, the teacher kisses Scott Bakula.
Yep.
And Dean is right there, and he's like, oh, so I see you're having an affair with the student. You're both fucking fired. Like, you're both out of here. And she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not having an affair. I'm not, this, we're not, nothing's happening here. And the dean's like, oh, really? Nothing's happening? And Scott Bakula's like, oh, really? Nothing's happening? And he gets all pissed off and runs away.
Mm.
She won't tell him the truth. He's like, just tell him the truth. Who cares? Just tell him the truth. She won't do it. We see Lucy has to shower. All the other guys have showered, and she waits to the end, and Mano's like, all right, you can go in. I'll protect you. I'll protect the door so that
he's kicking everybody out of the
you can
shower
shower
so
in
she
peace.
Can shower, yeah.
We see Jason Bateman has a rich dad, which I forgot about from the beginning of the movie, but he has a rich dad who hosts a booster party, gives everyone jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Blake gets mad and drunk and yells at Ed Gennaro when he comes in and says, like, no jackets, no boosters, no nothing. He's like, they're just kids. He's like, they're not just kids. You're old. And he's like, all right, I quit. So he quits the team again. I think this is the second time he's quit.
Great leader.
Wally comes up to Ed and he goes, you're wrong. And Ed says, well, you're wrong. Then we see Blake leaves college, and Jason Bateman has quit college because he was a cheater.
Yep.
And they really need him, even though he hasn't done anything so far. And Scott Bakula says when he's driving him, he's like, I'll drive you, but you got to find your own way back. And then he's like, why are you throwing your life away? Why are you quitting? He's like, why are you quitting?
Fair point.
I'm like, all right, fine. I'll turn around. He's like, you can't save me. I've been cheating for an entire year. My cheerleader girlfriends, multiple girlfriends, do my homework. I do bad on the tests. It's like, all right, well, we're going to go study. And then we see Bakula shows back up to practice. Like, I'm back on the team. Edison won't be here. He's studying. Neither will Sinbad. They're both studying the whole time. Like, just deal with it. He's got to make the team.
Back on.
We need him.
No problem though.
We go for a test. Then the dean does some weird shady shit where he's like,
Push.
Where he's like, oh, let me see those tests real quick before you grade those, baby. Let me see those tests.
No, she had already graded them. He wanted to make sure that
He wants to change the grades.
Yeah.
She says, up yours, Phil. Everyone sees the grades, and Jason Bateman passes. He gets a C. But unfortunately, Ed suffers a heart attack.
Yeah.
And we go into
Out of
Major
nowhere.
League 2 territory here. So this movie, again, human centipeded itself. It stole from Major League 1 to make this movie and then shit out a storyline that happens in Major League 2.
Yeah.
Who has a heart attack in two?
Lou Brown.
Baker.
Lou Brown.
Right.
Did you say Lou Vega?
I said Lou Baker.
Oh, I thought you said Lou Vega.
I think I combined Lou Brown and Rube Baker.
Or a heart
It's
attack.
either a leg thing or a psychological thing or a heart attack.
He used heart attack.
Me.
We'll get to that movie at some point.
Definitely.
Again. For
Yeah.
the second time.
That's worth the.
That's worth a
reloop.
double dip. We see
got
Blake.
3 of 'em to do,
Scott
actually.
Bakula has sex with the teacher.
Sure.
He hooks up with the teacher. Talks about all his problems. She's like, you just fucking go win the game. Shut up.
Yeah.
Ed, Robert Lozier brings flowers to Ed. I brought you these flowers. Okay, well, I'm giving you the playbook. You're giving me the playbook. What, are you going to die? No, I'm giving you the playbook to coach. I can't coach. Oh. So I have to give it back? Yes, you have to give it back. He comes in and gives a shit speech where he's in a suit and he's like, all right, Coach had a slight heart attack. A slight heart attack. Nobody has a slight heart attack.
I love this line from him. I don't want to put any undue pressure on you guys, but Coach Gennaro's last words were "win or I'll die."
Yeah.
Win or I'll die.
Which that Jake Taylor gives the win-win for the Gipper speech.
Yeah.
I just want to win this one.
Yes. Another moment. Win or I'll die. He also says his last words, but we know he's not dead because he says he had a slight heart attack. Oh my God. The suit doesn't fit. He's obviously Loja's borrowed the suit, so it doesn't fit. The convicts are fans now. They're in the audience. Flat Top, the guy from the bar, sacks Bakula like 8 times in a row. Dean comes in and tries to stop the game in the middle of the game, but the sheriffs are like, get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Get off the field. Amazing scene at halftime where Loja Wally finally snaps.
Now let's analyze.
He rips the
what's
suit off.
been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us.
He says his advice for the second half is, he goes,
He gets out of the suit.
let's rip their fucking heads off and shit down their fucking necks.
Yeah.
And then after he says it, he
Let
goes,
us pray.
now let us pray, which is so fucking funny.
And everyone
So
very
funny.
quickly
They
huddles up
all
and
get down to pray, which is just a hilarious, very true thing about playing football for a Christian school, where coaches will tell you to go fucking kill somebody and then say 10 Hail Marys. It's so weird. Well, they score on a fake punt to start the second half. We find out that Coach Ed's fine. He has indigestion. He doesn't have a heart attack.
Is it fatal? Indigestion? Only in Mexico.
Yeah. Featherstone finally catches a pass. The Dean tries again to get the game stopped, so they decide to run a pitch right at him and run him over on the sideline and knock him silly, which is funny. We get a full-on karate display from Karate Guy on defense where he kicks people in the faces, and then a very funny... We're getting funny now. Like, in the first part of the movie, I'm like, I don't know about this, but the end, we're getting funny now because the ref comes out and properly calls every karate move that is done. He's like, he starts saying 15 yards for, whatever there, roundhouse. But he says it more racist.
I'll see if I can find it.
He says it more racist. Very funny. Ed comes back to the game. He leaves the hospital and comes to the game. We get a fumble. Only 14 seconds left. What are they going to do? Well, they got to use Robert Loja's play. He said this. He has this play, which is not really that great of a. It's not really that great of a gimmick play.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the play was.
I don't either. They say how many timeouts are left, and Jason Bateman says they say 3, and Jason Bateman says, "Can we take them all now?" Because they've been getting their ass kicked the whole game. What the play is basically is a running back throws it to the quarterback.
Oh yeah.
That's not that tricky of a play, but that's what happens. Bakula catches it for a touchdown. They decide to kick for the tie, but actually they go for 2 with a fake field goal. And Manu says to Scott Bakula, "No one will touch you."
Mr. Blake, he'll never touch you.
Yeah, which is a great little bit that happens a couple times. Like, so-and-so will never touch you. And he makes sure that no one touches him. But he absolutely, legit kills Flat Top, knocks his helmet off. He's bleeding from the mouth. He looks like he's dead. Banks, of course, the guy who's the walk-on, catches the touchdown for the win, and he's surprised. We see Rob Schneider go crazy. He celebrates in the booth. He sprays champagne all over himself. Jason Bateman and Sinbad dance together. Kathy Ireland kisses Manu for being a gentleman.
Yeah.
He faints after being kissed. The Dean gets a fake gun pulled on him by the mascot, so it appears like he's going to get Vince McMahon. The Bang 316 piss of pants. Maybe that's where that came from. A lot came out of this movie.
Yeah.
And that is where it ends, gentlemen. Celebration. Scott Bakula's with his lady. It's all good. What a movie.
It was fine.
It picks up a little bit at the end. I feel like there's a lot of comedy left on the cutting room floor here.
Yes.
Like you missed a lot of stuff. Like Kathy Ireland.
They're also
Why is she
holes
not in the
everywhere.
Why is she not in the movie from like Jump Street? Bring her in right
who
away.
Who makes the play at the end?
Banks.
Which one?
The walk on.
The walk-on makes that play.
Yes.
Even at the end, I couldn't figure out if it was him
The
or
Aussie
the
rules
backup
guy.
quarterback.
The backup quarterback never gets in
The
again.
backup quarterback has glasses on
Yeah.
all
Whatever.
the time. And
White
he's
people
tall.
look the same. I don't know what to tell you.
White people look the same. All right, Quote Mountain. I think it's for me. It's definitely we're gonna fucking tear their heads off, shit down their necks, and let us pray. That is my favorite. My favorite thing from this movie.
You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
It's fine.
Great. Which also brings me to MVP, who's got to be Robert Loggia.
I mean, I feel bad for Bakula, but yeah, it's got to be Robert Loggia.
Bakula's weird in this movie. Like he is good at points.
He
But he goes-
is also. He just like
He gets weird moody through the middle.
He does.
So
Yeah, definitely Bakula. Or not Bakula.
definitely not Bakula.
Definitely
Robert
Robert
Loggia.
Robert Loggia. R for Robert Loggia.
Is that his first time?
Oh,
on
as
our-
an oh
on
my
this
god,
show
it's Robert
being MVP?
Loggia.
Loggia's first time being an MVP?
On this show?
I want to say this is.
This is the first time he's appeared on
Yeah,
the
is
show. He's appeared several times on the other show.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God, that's Robert Loggia.
B as in by God, it's Robert Loggia.
My God. All right, that's necessary roughness. We got to rate this thing.
We do.
Oh yes.
What does this get rated?
Ooh.
Most interesting question of the night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be lower than you guys. I think.
I think the positives. There's some positives in there.
I'd
The
say,
fact that they set up some things that happen in Little Giants
Yeah, Little Giants
is interesting.
ripped this movie off a
Yeah,
lot.
right. Does that mean Little Giants goes down? What if this movie?
Little Giants improved it though.
What if this movie is at 5.0 and like all the Little Giants bits are stolen? Does that mean Little Giants drops?
They did it better.
They
We'll-
did it
They
way
improved.
We'll
better.
see when we do our review though.
Improved.
I guess.
Okay. I would argue they did it the same, at least for this part, for the receiver part.
They did the receiver exactly the
Yeah,
same.
it was
Except
literally
they
the
added
same.
toilet paper. They added
Except for the
toilet paper.
yeah, that's true. They had the toilet paper.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 5.9.
Okay.
That's around where I was thinking.
All right. Yeah.
I was thinking 5. I think I'm gonna lean all the way up to a 6 even.
Okay.
What's gonna make the math hardest?
Who cares?
6.1.
That's not.
That's
That's
not-
fine. That does not make it hard.
Yeah, it doesn't make it hard. It doesn't make it harder, but that's what I feel.
All right. So
All right,
even
6
6
even.
rating puts it
It's low.
probably too low.
6.
It's
out of
pretty low.
10. Let's see. It's D3 was 6.1.
Okay, it's worse than D3.
Teen Wolf was 5.9.
It's better than that. Okay.
We nailed it.
We might have gotten this one right. Any 6.0s? Another 6.1 is The Replacements.
Which
Yeah.
rips this movie off.
Does rip this
but
movie off.
it's a little bit better.
Okay.
The Big Green, 6.0.
I feel like the Big Green should be a little bit higher.
I don't know. I feel like this is kind of the Big Green level. I feel like
Oh, you feel really good about this number.
I thought I thought it was.
What's our lowest movie again?
Lowest was the
The terrible one.
yeah. Shaolin
Ladybugs.
Soccer. Oh nope. Yep, you're
Ladybugs.
right. Ladybugs.
Ladybugs is
3.2.
lower.
Shaolin
Okay,
Soccer.
so we
was
did
just-
go quite a low.
Shaolin Soccer. I feel like was too low by us.
No,
I
it's
think
too high.
I think we.
It's too high.
I think we.
What did we label that as? I forget.
3.8.
That's going to go up in a re-rank, you think?
No
I
way.
think so.
Can
It's
it,
gonna
what's
will
the
stay
the movie
there.
that's immediately
It will
above it?
Stay there, and then everything else
everything else
will
will
shift
adjust
down.
to it. Yeah.
What's the movie right above?
Closest above 3.8.
Yeah. What's the one right above it?
So it looks like 5.2 is the next lowest. That's our third lowest, and that's All the Right Moves.
That's the fucking Frankie movie. All the Right Moves is the movie.
The Frankie movie.
Isn't it?
Who's
What's
Frankie?
what's All the Right Moves?
All the
Tommy
Right Moves
Cruise.
is Tom
Oh
Cruise.
fuck, I'm screwed up. Tom Cruise. That movie should be higher.
No, it's not.
I don't think Shaolin soccer is going to move past that, though.
It's not going to move up or down. It's going to stay right where it is, and everything's going to move down towards it.
You think?
And Ladybugs
All
is going to drop a little bit more.
Ladybugs is going to
drop some more. Yes.
several more spots, though. All right, that's it. Wally, you're next for the review.
Yes, I will be spinning a wheel.
Spin a wheel, make a deal.
Because I have picked, what's it called? Movies for all of my topics.
What do you mean for all of your topics?
He has movies for each category.
Yes, I have movies for each category.
You've
That
never
are
picked baseball.
what?
He has movies picked out for whatever it lands on. Is what he
Oh,
means.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Why are you confusing him so much?
I was just confused. I thought he meant like he's picked.
He's my
something in each
babe
category now.
kicker. He's not smart.
Man.
And he has not yet picked baseball.
All right, I've got football.
Oh God, another football in a row.
Back to back football. All right.
It's
There's a
gonna
few
be
options.
it's gonna be on Tubi.
Oh boy.
Yes.
It is going to be Brian's song.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
Why are you gonna make us cry?
Brian Piccolo, you my best
You're my
friend.
best friend.
I love you, Brian
What
Piccolo.
class did we have to watch this in again?
Religion, I think.
Oh, did we really?
I feel like this might have been a
It's Siegel.
Rhett Siegel.
A
movie.
Rhett Siegel. Did I just call him Ed Siegel?
I don't know what you call him.
That
Was it?
wasn't his name. Ed.
Was
Rhett.
it Rhett?
Rhett.
Maybe it wasn't.
It was
Rhett.
Rhett.
It wasn't Ed. It was
his
Rhett.
name is Rhett Siegel.
He's not alive.
Was
anymore.
it Rhett or was it the other one there?
Mr. V.
Yeah, Mr. V.
He wasn't
Might have
a
been
movie
V.
guy, was he?
He
So
wasn't
that
really. You're right. He wasn't a movie guy, but he was a football guy. The Rugged
That's true.
Rams. He loved those.
Did love the rugged Rams.
He loved to talk about them.
Brian Piccolo, you my best.
Why are you gonna make us cry? What the fuck?
Because, man, it's a good movie.
I don't remember if it is a good movie or not because I remember making fun of it, but I remember making fun of it and like we're in high school. Let's not pretend like it made us sad here.
Let's not
Let's
pretend.
pretend like it didn't make us.
We can't be sad. What the hell? We're gonna watch that in 2 weeks, right? Because we have 2 holidays, so we're not doing the show for 2 weeks.
Yes. So January 8th.
January 8th, we're gonna be crying our eyes out.
So I'm gonna watch this probably tomorrow and then forget, and then cry, and then actively try to forget it for 3 weeks.
You can't cry before the holidays. What are you doing?
That's what the holidays are for. It's for crying.
Just for tears?
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Okay.
Necessary Roughness. It's got a couple things in there, but it's
worth a
it's fine.
watch on a
It's fine.
lazy
If you're bored,
Sunday afternoon or something.
Yeah, it's got
It's
some
okay.
humorous moments.
it does. It's got Robert Loge in it, which mostly is the only good thing about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
And
Kathy
Kathy Ireland.
attractive.
She's
And
fun.
I like Manu Manu.
I like Mono.
Mono's good.
That was good. All right, let's get out of here.
Not bad.
Yeah, fine, sure.
Yeah, Sinbad didn't really do anything.
It's not bad.
What are you doing? You taught kids about gravitron or whatever he said. All right, let's go. I think that's what he said. All right, let's get out of here. Peace out.
Ding, ding.
You almost fucked up the
I
outro.
was supposed to see you.
Jesus Christ.
Ding, ding.